are listening to WHOA Podcast, coming to you from Gainesville, Florida. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the WHOA GNV Podcast, the Coronavirus Sessions. We are bringing these every weekday at noon or around noon. We're trying to get pretty close to noon. It's been a struggle a couple times, but right around noon for about a half hour. Talking to, our business owners, business professionals, community leaders, and really just trying to help everybody navigate this coronavirus, trying to save jobs, trying to save businesses, and just really help get as much information out there to our audience as possible, so that way we can get through this together. Want to remind everybody that you can support our podcast. We need support as well, especially during this time. We have a team that we're paying. So, if you're up for it, like maybe buy one of these really cool shirts here. You can just buy them at whoagnv.com. You can become a sponsor. So if you're a business and you're interested in becoming a sponsor, definitely reach out to me. Or you can just donate to our show. You can donate to our show via, you can send $1. Mike, you can send $1 via Venmo to @Collin Austin, COLLINAUSTIN. And every little bit helps, right? Especially during this time. And I know everybody, it's been really cool to see everybody giving what they can to businesses across town. And that's what really inspires me during this time, is really seeing this community come together. So we're really grateful for your support. And if you can't donate it to us, or you don't want to donate it to us, please donate it to a business somewhere in Gainesville. Buy a gift card at a restaurant, support somebody, because all of our small businesses in Gainesville really need you during this time. And so we're going to get right into it. I do want to give a shout out to Josh Bush, though, because he did go buy some swag. So Josh, support. He bought one of these shirts, and he bought a mug, and so I wanted to give him a little shout out. So Josh, thank you so much for your support.
Definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, man. So Mike, dude, tell us what's going on. How you feeling? I love, your set back there with the lighting. I feel like you're really trying to bring the home studio feel to this.
Right.
I'm really proud of you, man.
I'm missing the giant ring light that makes you look super pale. But other than that, I've got the nice couch effects and everything. So we're doing pretty well.
It's good, man. What you been working on? I feel like I've been talking to you in a little bit.
Dude, it does feel like that, right? Like, we're usually in constant contact, like, all the time, right? And now it's so there's a lot of projects I'm working on that are kind of like the things that get snoozed, or the things that kind of stay on that perpetual list all the time. I do have some sales that I'm wrapping up, which is nice. It's nice to have that, like, sense of routine, to have some sales come in. So I've been working on a lead with a customer that wanted to upgrade to a new Vespa 300. So that just arrived at the dealership this week. So I got to go get that assembled and inspected and all that kind of stuff. So there is a little bit of business as usual, but still working on some bigger projects in this, like, downtime. That way, whenever things resume to any type of normalcy, we can hit the ground running,
Yeah, for sure. So, well, awesome, man. I'm really excited to get today's episode.
Let's do it.
I want to just introduce my friend Kim. Kim, welcome to our show. Why don't you go ahead and I'm going to let you introduce yourself, and then introduce what it is you do, and give us like the 30 to 60 second, version of the short story, if you will.
Perfect. I'm Kim Snell. I own KMS Media Solutions, a local marketing agency, local to Gainesville, and started the agency in 2012. And really, just my goal is to we're just dedicated to helping brands fulfill their purpose and reach their goals. So 3 things we do: we help clarify their message, scale their content, and connect with their customers. So all of that being, it can be everything from influencer marketing, so strategic planning, to influencer marketing, to creative services, to digital media, and then social media marketing.
Yeah, so this is a passion you and I both have. I'm like all into marketing. Have you seen, it's interesting when you hit phases like this, in fact, I'll go find it real quick, because I shared a post right now from Jorge over at Best Restoration, and he's actually going to be on the show next, I think. But I thought it was spot on, because he said, yeah, where was it? He said, don't bash small business owners who are marketing. They aren't
Right.
trying to be, they aren't trying to be insensitive. They're trying to keep the lights on. Right.
Yes.
And so I think, I think especially during a time like this, the businesses that are marketing, it gets almost like people put some sort of negative light on them because it's like, why are you promoting during this time? We're under this like crisis right now. Like, what are you doing? Well, that's exactly right. We're trying to keep the lights on. We're trying to get customers into our businesses so we can like pay our people and live.
Right.
So I'm interested to know, have you seen an uptick in marketing and in services because of what's happening, or have you seen a decrease here in the last couple weeks?
So we're blessed. We are actually very busy. All of our brands had to adjust their messaging. So really we dove into the business itself and just trying to figure out, just thinking outside of the box and figuring out ways that we can be creative and adjust the services, moving things more online. But really I've seen, so let's talk about social media marketing really quickly. I have one client that is pretty heavy on with social media ads. And it was about 2 weeks ago when all of this really started going down, and the cost per click and cost per thousand declined drastically. So what that means is I think a lot of brands just had a mass exodus from social media marketing, and this client did not pull off. And so they're reaping the benefits of it. But yeah, I think it's just about changing your message, and if you're able to, obviously, but changing your message and being a little sensitive to the times. And everybody's looking for support. They're looking for hope, and this is a great time to brand, honestly. So I don't know. I haven't heard a lot of that, honestly, about people being insensitive or brands being insensitive by advertising, but I could probably see some saying that.
Yeah, it's funny. I start paying attention to the ads that are coming out, and one of Mike, you shared one from Uber the other day. I'm trying to find it. Was it in the marketing channel? Yeah. So here it is.
It was. Yep, you got it.
Yeah. So Uber put out one that said, the copy says, the world is upside down. Everything has changed. A company that moves people is asking you not to move. Stay home if you can. Stay home if you can. And with drivers, delivery people, and restaurants, will help move what matters. 10 million free rides and deliveries of food for frontline healthcare workers, seniors, and people in need. If you stop moving, together we can end this virus. And that's super interesting from a company like Uber, who makes their money by people who move.
Right.
And I thought that was a pretty prime example of really great branding and taking the opportunity. One that I thought was kind of interesting, and I actually thought it was okay. It didn't bother me, but I saw where it bothered some people, was like Land Rover had made one that had like the Land Rover like out, or maybe it was Jeep. I think it was Land Rover. It was out like on the peak of like a mountain, and it said something to the fact of like, we've been practicing social distancing for ages or something like that. And I thought it was fine, but there were a lot of people who were kind of like backlashing at it, and saying like how, like, man, like, this is a serious matter, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know. It's always interesting for me as a marketer to see the different perspectives. Because I agree with you. I'm looking at it as like, you have the time right now. This is a perfect opportunity to focus on building brand awareness, so that way you can, be prepared to execute when everything does. Or, I mean, if you're able to execute now, great. But if you're a business like ours, where you really depend on customers coming into a showroom, we're trying to create that messaging, stay in good communication, and build brand and build content, so that way we can capitalize a little bit later. But
Absolutely. And some brands, I mean, right now, if you're unable to sell, like, for example, scooters in store, build your email list, build your, just start building that funnel so that when we come out of this, you can go gangbusters, just getting those leads. So hitting those leads.
Have you had any major challenges thus far from this thing?
I have one client that's a travel related client. So that's been, I think they're the ones that have had the biggest challenge. But I'm blessed, honestly, with brands that, I have one brand is a doctor. It's actually a weight loss clinic, but she's a physician, and she switched over to telemedicine. Another is a home builder, and they've done, now let me back up here. So we were rebranding, and the week of the 16th was the rebrand launch event. That's when everything started shutting down. So that did not go as well as we would have liked, because we had to cancel the event, and it was just we just didn't launch it the way that we would have liked. But this home builder, it's GW Homes, or a local home builder, and they really were kind of ahead of the curve and already invested in virtual tours, and you can design your home online. So all we had to do with them was just make a few little adjustments. But for the most part, I mean, my other e-com brands that I'm working with are doing really well. So yeah, I mean, I'm blessed again, because I work with some of those clients that haven't had those huge challenges.
Has there been a client, or even if it's not a client, a business that you've seen that has adapted and adjusted well, from the marketing side, that has just kind of surprised you? Has anything like really stood out?
That's an interesting one. I don't know. I mean, maybe the client it's the doctor's office, and it's a weight loss clinic, and she's trying to, she has switched over to telemedicine. I mean, she had to literally completely switch her whole brand over, or her whole way of doing business over. Yeah, I don't know.
And that's like one of those things that I think is going to stick, right? Like, it's funny. We've really reflected back over all these episodes of doing this. Something that has come up frequently has been like, what's going to be the status quo? Like, what's going to stick once this thing kind of passes? And I think that's one of them. I think you're going to have more, I'm going to be able to like get on here with my doctor and say, yo, like, got this cough, and just be able to like, let them hear it, let them see it. I mean, and talk through the symptoms and that kind of thing. And then be able to, help via Zoom or whatever platforms they'll have. I think that's something that'll stick.
Right.
So it's interesting to think about as we progress, but that's a very good, smart adaptation for sure, especially during this time.
Absolutely. So, she had already expressed interest in offering telemedicine to patients about 2 weeks before she had to make the switch. So at least she had it in her mind. But yes, I agree. And I think we're, as marketers, going to have to get used to new consumer habits. Like you said, consumer habits are going to change. We are going to be I don't know. I just think we're going to change in the way that we shop, the way that we go to stores, just the way that we do things. So yeah,
I agree.
How does the marketing change for an agency? I don't know. No one knows right now whether this is going to spur the next recession, but as people may start to clean closer to their money, I mean, do you try to focus more on brand building and long-term strategy with your clients, even though the immediate payoff isn't there? Or do you target maybe quick sales that might not come because consumers are hanging tight to their money? And how does that marketing strategy change?
Well, obviously you have to have a long-term plan first, or at least I like to have a long-term plan first. Look at the long-term and then break it down into the short-term. Yeah, I mean, I sold real estate advertising, only real estate advertising, in 2007, 2008, when the market crashed. So I've kind of sort of been through this before.
Mhm.
Not quite, but it was those realtors that kept advertising, and they kept that branding going, and they adjusted that are still in real estate today.
Does it feel like a close enough parallel where maybe that prepared you for how to deal with what's coming now?
I would say that yes, I think so. I have not had a panic moment yet.
Okay.
So I think it's just reassuring to have been through it and to have seen it and to have come out of it. And it's all about being fluid and adjusting.
Right.
And knowing that you can adjust.
I mean, we have a pretty substantial small business audience. If there was one thing from a marketing standpoint, a social media standpoint, that or whatever it might be, that you'd recommend them to focus on during this time, because we're kind of all stuck at home, we're all working from home. What would be like the one thing you'd say, hey, definitely put in the time on this? What would that thing be?
I would say, I would say definitely, I have a few points.
Please.
So yeah, strategic planning, look at opportunities. Obviously, don't just sit here and let this time go by and wait for business to come to you. Look for opportunities. And change your message. Change your message, because people want to hear, they want to know that businesses care, and they want hope, they want support. And it could be as simple as, it could be as simple as, let's say, corduroys, for example. They're selling beanbag chairs or beanbags to turn into a bed, and just changing the message to comfort in your home, and delivered right to your door, even though it's you're ordering online, so sure, it's going to be delivered, but just reminding them, like, hey, you don't have to leave your house, and then this product is here. So just changing your message, and just be adaptable. Just adapt, and you're going to have to keep adapting.
Yeah, for sure. definitely at that stage right now. So I'm just kind of curious, like, what's your favorite social media platform?
That's a great one. I would say Instagram. It's visual. It's so this is my personal. This is the Kim, not the.
Yeah.
Have all the political stuff. You don't have all of the junk. But I like Instagram personally. And for business, I guess it just really depends on the business as to which platform works best. But personally, I like it.
Do you like, if you took all your clients and you had to say they typically lean in this particular direction in terms of social media, which platform do you find you're using the most for them? Instagram, really?
Yeah, okay. But I would say I have 3 different e-commerce brands that are, that sell nationally. Internationally, actually. And so Instagram works well for them. Local clients, probably Facebook, but then again, it depends on age, demographics.
Of course, yeah.
Things.
That's that's one of the most important thing when it comes to social media marketing is where is your customer? Where is your audience?
Who are they and where are they?
That's right.
It's funny you mentioned that. I was going to talk about the platforms too. I'm curious, do you do much on TikTok yet or no? Or do you coax your clients into this?
So interesting. So I have an employee, Jasmine, and she's dabbling in it. So we have we receive a lot of user generated content. The e-commerce brands do. We receive a lot of user generated content from all over the country, all over the world. And some of them are TikTok videos. So we're going there.
Yeah, I know Collin, he's talked about TikTok many times on all of our iterations of podcasts, but one of the reasons I wanted to bring it up now is we do have this, we live in a meme culture, right? And as people are sitting home remote and everything, it seems like it's almost even 10x now. And there's this, like, from a marketing standpoint, I think I look back and marketing is not my wheelhouse, but there's people like you and Collin and others that really love it. Like, so how do you tackle that virality, the things that come up? One of my favorite things that's come up in this entire couple weeks is the videos that First Magnitude did with the Brewers. And that's another one we've mentioned on this recently. So while no one maybe really has a budget that they're spending on marketing and these things are happening, how do you capture that as part of building long-term brands so that brands stay relevant, and as soon as people are ready to go back into the world to be purchasers in our economy, like, so they remember this stuff and it's channeled for good use,
Right. So I would say that we actually use influencers for that. So we use influencers and strategically pick those influencers to create that content, share it, and then go viral from there, like you said. So yeah, we've had, a few of the brands that I work with have had actors recently. And we always have the professional athletes that reach out, and then you've got, there was a video by, I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but it's the guy that he has his grandma doing all the tricks with like the ping pong balls. I don't know if you've seen him.
Right. Yeah,
but,
sure.
Yes, but they created a video about a week ago, or it was a few weeks ago, with grandma sitting on a corduroy's chair and doing her little tricks, which is kind of cool.
Awesome. So when something like that catches wildfire, is there pressure on you guys to find a way to make it relevant for your specific clients? Like they've got to now do something so that they're participating in the conversation. Do you feel that pressure, or do you just kind of like let it go? If you get an idea, great, you can pass it on to a client that can support it.
So rephrase the question again. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So when something like from a meme culture, like
okay.
You were mentioning with the grandma, like if something like that catches wildfire and it's like the next Harlem Shake, if I'm dating myself, or whatever that viral thing is, do you feel pressure as an agency to now have clients go execute something similar so they can participate in the wave of virality, or do you just, if you get a good idea, you go with it and let it be?
Yeah, I think if we get a good idea, we go with it. Again, we've been blessed. We have a lot of these influencers, because we work with them so much that we have a lot of these influencers that create that content for us. So, yeah.
I'm super curious to know, what your thoughts are on the future of college sports. And, because one of the things that's come up is, using the likeness. We've heard this in college sports. We recently talked to Coach Becky Burley about it on the podcast, and a lot of interesting conversations. But one of the things that I kind of keep thinking about as a small business in Gainesville, Florida, that has always had substantial relationships with college football players, cheerleaders, soccer players, just athletes at the University of Florida. Do you see is that going to be an opportunity for us to use, to benefit from these relationships, with these individuals, to have local influencers? Like, is this something that you see happening in the near future, or do you think
absolutely, locally for sure? Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, it's funny, we've always had those relationships, but have never been able to, pay a football player to do even if they bought a product from us, we've never been able to say, hey, like, promote us on your Instagram account to all of your followers and we'll pay you, because it's been illegal. Right. So I'm like, man, when that becomes legal, I'm going to like be all over it.
Right. And it's such a short window. What we've done before is you find that little window from the time that they graduate and now they're going pro, but before they've signed with an agent, if they're moving on to professional sports, you get that little sliver that maybe you can do something with them. But then it's not long before an agent saying, no, you can't do that, or no, you got to charge this for it, and it's tough. So
yeah, and their focus is on moving on to the next level.
Next step.
Yeah.
We had Eddie Pinheiro was a customer of ours. Like, he bought a scooter from us, and you know, like, we didn't even want to like put up a normal celebratory picture like the stuff that we normally do, because I was like, I don't know if he'd get in trouble for it, and I don't want it to look like he's even promoting us. So we didn't even do that, right? And then you know, as soon as he announced that he was going to the NFL, like, I like texted him like that afternoon and was like, hey man, when this is like legit, I want to like pay you to do influencer stuff for us. And he was like, yeah, absolutely, no problem. And so
I was totally on board.
Yeah, I was all over it, and it was really cool. It was a good campaign too. But it was one of those things that we executed like right as soon as it was legal to do so, you know. But I'm like, man, if we have all these college students, because they're buying scooters from us, it'd be great to be able to, you know, to benefit from those relationships. So.
And it's interesting because there are actual, you know, agencies that represent, not their agents, but actual marketing agencies that represent professional athletes. Sure. And then find, you know, brands for them to work with. And that's all they do is they work with professional athletes. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes with the college athletes as well. Yeah.
So that'll be super interesting.
Yeah.
Oh man, all the things that we have to look forward to. I tell you what.
All the changes.
That's right. So I'm glad to hear that you're doing strong and going well. That people are marketing. I'm not going to judge businesses for marketing during this time. I know like a lot of people are trying to attract customers. Like I think interestingly, a lot of times when we hit these trials, one of the first things to go is the marketing budget. People just cut it out altogether. When the truth is, I think you need to double down. I think you need to like invest more into marketing. So our small businesses out there, I know that you're looking at the P&L and you're looking at expenses and you're looking at marketing and you want to like cut it from the budget. I tell you right now, I would increase it. Can't tell you, I can't, you know, and if you don't know what you're doing, that's fine. Find an agency like Kim's, you know, and let them help you, because, you know, we have the resources, we have the connections, and we know what we're doing to help you spend that money wisely so it doesn't end up being an expense. You know, marketing is an investment and it should be looked at as such. So Kim, so where can our audience, you know, connect with you where can they reach out to you? Website, phone number, email, whatever you like, social media.
So my email is kim@kmsmediasolutions.com. I'll just give you my phone number too. It's 352-258-0193. And you can reach out to me anytime.
Awesome. Kim, so great to see you.
Yes, it's great to talk to you and see you guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming on our show, and you know, stay strong. If there's anything else we can do to help and support you through this, just let us know, okay? But thanks for helping all those businesses out there. Let's keep them alive.
Absolutely.
Yes, and keep advertising.
Yes, for sure. So everybody, thank you so much for listening. This is the WHOA GNV podcast, the podcast bringing you businesses and individuals that make you go, whoa.
Whoa.
Kim, you want to give us your best whoa?
Whoa.